Thinking about applying for your post-graduation work permit or PGWP in Canada? You are in the right place. In this video, I will walk you through everything you need to know, including why PGWP is so important after completing your studies, a full step-by-step application process, language test requirement, how PGWP can help you move towards getting your PR, tips to avoid common mistakes that can cause delays, the list of required documents, and how much the application will cost. Also, if you are planning to bring your parents, sibling or friends to Canada, make sure to watch my visitor visa step-by-step process video. The link is right in the description and at the I button above. And if you are aiming for the PR later, I have another helpful video on CRS score calculator to find your eligibility score. Again, link in the description and at the I button. Now, this video is a bit long, but trust me, it's worth it. I am going to take you straight inside the IRCC secure account to show you exactly how to apply step by step. But before that, we will quickly visit the IRCC PGWP eligibility page so you know exactly what requirements you need to meet. Stay with me till the end. Let's dive right in. First, let's see why PGWP. Post-graduation work permit or PGWP is one of the most important steps after completing your studies in Canada. It allows you to work full-time for any employer without restrictions. This Canadian work experience is extremely valuable. It not only helps you start a career but also boosts your chances of getting permanent residency under programs like Express Entry or Provincial Nominee Program. Canadian work experience gives you extra CRS points, and for many students, PGWP is the bridge that leads to becoming a permanent resident of Canada. Alright, now let's first go over the official IRCC eligibility requirement for the PGWP so you are 100% sure you qualify. After that, we will jump straight into the application process inside the IRCC account. Let's get started. So now this is the page where you can check the PGWP eligibility. I will share the link in the description so you can directly come on this page. It says work in Canada after you graduate. Who can apply? To be eligible for a post-graduation work permit, you must meet all the eligibility requirement. Now there's some general eligibility. Now eligibility requirement based on the study program. Then eligibility requirement based on the physical location, like if you are inside Canada or outside Canada. Now field of study requirement. What is the general eligibility? You completed a program of study at PGWP eligible that was at least 8 months long or 900 hours for Quebec program. You maintain full-time status as a resident in Canada during each semester of your study program. You apply for your PGWP within 180 days of the confirmation that you completed your program of study. So your study permit was valid at some point during the 180 days after you graduated and before you submitted your PGWP application. Now, who are not eligible for a PGWP? So definitely a person who already received the PGWP, he cannot apply again. Now there's some more condition which you can go through the link I will share in the description. And there was one more criteria here. So the person who completed the over 50% of his education through the distance learning, he cannot apply for the PGWP program. Now there are some additional requirements like the eligibility requirement based on the study program. So IRCC basically introduced to do the language test last year in November. So what is this language requirement? So if you graduated with a bachelor degree, master degree or doctoral degree, then you need to prove your English or French language skill and you need to score minimum of CLB 7 in all 4 language areas. Now second condition is, not that condition, so it is like if you graduated from any other university program, then also you need to score CLB 7 in English or French, which will be your primary language. Now the third one is if you are graduated from any other college, polytechnic or non-university program, then you need to score CLB 5 in English or French. Now the third is, or the fourth is basically if you completed your graduation from the flight school. Now that condition is basically, it is not about the language skill. So you completed a flight training course at DLI Training Center and now have a Canadian commercial pilot license, or you have are getting an instructor rating and have a job offer as a flight instructor from a DLI flight training center. So that is a requirement for the flight school, when you are graduating from the flight school. So at that time you don't need any language test. So now the eligibility requirement based on the physical location. So that is like in Canada graduate or outside Canada graduate. So if you are in Canada, you are eligible to apply if you meet all other eligibility requirements and are a graduate living in Canada. If your study permit will expire before you get your marks, you have two options. You can either apply for a visitor report to stay in Canada longer or leave Canada and apply for PGWP. If you stay in Canada and let your permit expire, you must apply to restore your status as a student to apply for your PGWP. Now, outside Canada graduate, you may be eligible to apply for a PGWP as a graduate outside of Canada if you meet the eligibility requirement for distance learning. If you completed your study program in Canada, you may also leave and then apply for PGWP. Now, let's go to the IRCC website to see the process step by step. Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Visa to Voyage. On this channel I share videos about travel, immigration, cost of living in different cities and must visit places around the world. If you're looking for up-to-date, practical and insightful information, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. So now at Google just type IRCC secure account and open the first link you see here. Now when you come down little bit, you will see an option for GC key, username and the password. Click on this link and use your credential to log into IRCC secure account. So now when you click sign in, you will be inside your IRCC secure account. Now you need to click continue and then you will see the two-factor authentication. Enter the one-time passcode which would be sent to your email address and then click continue. So once you click continue, now the authentication success and then you will come to terms and condition page which you have to just click on I accept and then it would be your security question to enter to the IRCC secure account. Once you continue, you will be in your IRCC secure account finally and then you will see an option apply to come to Canada, which is to start your application guys. Now here we will come down and we will see there is a link which says visitor visa, study and work permit. We will click that link. And now there's some question which is very straightforward and we will answer here. What would you like to do in Canada? We will say work. So the second question, how long you're planning to stay in Canada? Temporarily more than 6 months. Now you need to select the code and match your passport. So I'm selecting IND India, that is for me. Now your current country, it is going to be Canada because we are applying PGWP inside Canada. Do you have a family member? I'm saying no. It can be yes for you if you have any family member who is Canadian citizen or PR. Now it is asking for your date of birth, so you need to just enter your date of birth and then click next. So now it will ask some more question. Are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid US citizenship and the immigration service? So I'm saying no and then continue. It can be yes for you, but you have to choose answer accordingly. What is your current immigration status? So this is important. You have to say student and then click next because you can apply for the PGWP only when you are on student visa. Do you plan to work on campus? No. Then select continue or next. Now are you a full-time student at participating post-secondary institution and want to work off campus up to 20 hours per week? No. Have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary education in which your study program was full-time? Yes. Is your work an essential part of studies? For example, a co-op or internship program? No. Now click next and you will see some more question. Have you been told by an IRCC that you are approved in principle for the PR in Canada? So I am saying no. Have you submitted a PR application in Canada? No. Do you have a written job offer? No, because you are applying for the PGWP and it should be an open work permit. Now do you have an official letter that confirms you have completed your study program? Yes, you will get this letter after you completed your study program. Now find out if you are eligible to apply. What is your marital status? Single. What is your province or territory of destination? So I'm saying Ontario. So now here you are eligible for TRV and the postgraduate work permit in Canada. Now the TRV is only required when you return to Canada, so they basically need to see the visa stamp at your passport. Now I will create a separate video and I would be posting that on my YouTube channel soon. Now let's go with the postgraduate work permit in Canada. Let's click continue here. Now there's some more question it will be asking. Now let's click continue. So the first question is offer letter from a school that confirm you completed your study program. Yes, and then click next. Now, have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel physician? So I'm saying no and then click next. Now these questions are related to the medical exam only. So medical exam is needed before you submit your application for the foreign national. Now these are the conditions, like if somebody wants to stay for more than 6 months and the person have lived in one or more designated countries or territories for more than 6 months. So the answer would be no for for our case. But if you are supposed to work in either of these profession, then you may have to say yes, because in that case the medical exam would be required. So I'm saying no and then continue or next, right? Now some more question about the health profession. Now I'm saying no and then click next here. Now you will see, do you want to submit an application for a family member? I'm saying no. But if you're married and you want to submit an application for a spouse, you are going to say yes. Are you giving someone access to your application? No, because we are going to file for PGWP by ourselves. In the past 10 years, have you given a fingerprint or biometrics? Say yes, because you have definitely have given a biometrics during your study permit. Now that they are fee associated, yes, you will be paying the fees. So you just select the option yes, I will be paying my application fees, and then click next. Then the next question comes, are you able to make a digital copy of your document? Yes, we can make, and then click next. Will you be paying your application fees online? To pay online, you need a Visa, credit card or MasterCard. Say yes and then enter. Review your answer. Okay guys, so this is going to be very important, because whatever application we submit, like visitor visa, express entry profile, or any PGWP, any open work permit or anything, we always get this page where we need to review our answer. And you always try to spend 5 to 10 minutes to review your answer, and then you can click continue after that. Because sometimes if we make any mistake, we will not know, but when we after submitting the application, we may figure out, okay, we have provided that information wrong. So in that case, we may not back out. So I always suggest that you always go and review your all the information whatever you have provided, and then continue your application. Now when you submit your application, you need to attach some documentation. So this is all about, like, you can add every file can be up to 4 MB file, like PDF file, when you attach your documents. Now these are the documents. So here is the list of all the documents that you need to upload to your application. Now the form IMM 5710, that is the only form that you would be filling, signing, and then uploading to your application. Other than that, you need to attach the education transcript, completion of studies letter, passport, and the digital photo. Now this form IMM 5257, that is optional, it is not required. And other than that, under the client information, you can upload your language transcript, like your CELPIP or the IELTS score, you can upload under the client information. Now let's go to the form IMM 5710. So once you click on that form, you will see there is a PDF version. You can just download that version and open it in your system. Now I will also show you the step by step, like how you are going to fill this application form. Now let's click first on the validate form. So it will actually highlight all the required field that you need to fill for this application. Now to start your application, you need to enter your UCI number, which you can find at your study permit. Then select the language as English, and then I am applying for, you need to select always that option, apply for a work permit for the first time or with a new employer. Now under the personal details, you need to provide your full name, so your family name and your given name. So right now I'm just entering the surname for your reference, and I'm giving some given name under the given name option field. Now have you used any other name in the past? So I'm saying no. Now there are some more personal information, such as date of birth, place of birth, country or territory, and citizenship. Now make sure that you enter all that information as per your passport. So it should match your passport, like the date of birth and the place of birth especially, and the citizenship of course. Now the next field says your current country or territory. So Canada is already selected, we need to select the status. So we have to select the status as student, because we can apply for the PGWP while we are on the student permit, that is the condition. So now in the from date, I would be giving the date when I entered in Canada on my student permit. Now in to date, I can give today's date and then just go to the next field. And when I try, okay, it's giving me an error saying must be greater than today's date. So I can just give the next day. I can give the date any after today's date. So the next field is about or territories or countries for the past 5 years where you have lived for more than 6 months. So I'm saying no, but if you have lived in any other countries other than your home country, now you need to enter all of those details. So you have to say yes in that case and then provide all the information. Now I'm saying no because I did not lived in any other countries. So the next question is about marital status. So I'm selecting here single or never married, but it may be different for yourself. If you are married, then you need to select married, and then you need to provide your date of marriage. Now, have you previously been married? So I am saying no here. Now the next question, it is asking about your native language. So I am selecting here Punjabi, and then it is asking like, are you able to communicate in English or French? Then I would be selecting here English, because the IRCC can communicate either in English or French. There is no other language. Now the next point is the passport. You need to provide your passport details such as the passport number, country or territory of issue, the issue date of the passport, and the expiry date of your passport. So make sure that you enter the detail as per your passport, and it should match your current passport. So if you look at the next question while I'm filling, it says national identity document. So national identity document is basically, if you are in India, you can say Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card can be considered as your national identity document, but you can even say no if you do not have Aadhaar card, or if you have, you can say yes and then provide your details. But I'm saying no because it is not required. It's just an optional field. Now when we come down, it is about the contact information. Now you need to provide your current details, like where are you living. So I'm just giving my address here, selecting like Toronto, Canada, and the state, province, I'm saying Ontario, and then I'm providing all other details like such as address and all. So you would be providing the address as per wherever you're living. You can provide all the details, and under the telephone number you can provide your mobile number. So select the cellular and then give your mobile number here in the field. Now next is the email address. So you need to provide your own email address, because the IRCC will be communicating with you on that email address. If they have any issues or they need more documentation, so they would be sending an email on that email address only. Now these are the very important question, like coming to Canada. So it is asking the date and place of your original entry to Canada. Now you need to enter the first time when you enter to Canada. You need to provide the date and the which airport or city you came to first time. So I came as a student here, so I'm giving my date when I entered to Canada, and the place I entered in Toronto airport. So I'm just saying Toronto Pearson airport, and the reason was I came for the study, so I just selected the option study. Now it is asking for the most recent entry. Now if you have traveled to your home country after that, then you need to enter the most recent entry date and the which city you entered. So you're going to provide those information as well. Now when you come down, you would see those information is not required, because it is asking for the name of the employer, and we are not giving any name of the employer because we are applying for the open work permit. So you can leave those fields blank. Now the next field comes about the education. So next comes about education. So if you completed your education like post-secondary education, you need to provide all the details here. So you can say yes and provide all these details here, including when you started, when you completed your field and level of study, and city and town in the country where you completed your education. Now you need to provide all these details. Now under the employment, you need to provide all the employment for the last 10 years. And now make sure that when you provide your employment detail, it should be starting from your most recent work experience to go to the last 10 years. You need to provide details in the descending order, so starting from your most recent and go to the last one. As part of the background information, there are some questions related to your medical history. So if you ever say yes, you need to explain the situation whenever you had any medical condition. Now the next part is about if you ever remain beyond the validity of your status, attended school without authorization, or worked without authorization in Canada. So I'm saying no. Now the second was being refused a visa or permit, denied entry or order to leave Canada or any other country. I would be selecting no. But if you ever been refused to visa, then you have to select yes and explain in the comments why your visa was refused. Now the third is, have you ever applied previously to enter or remain in Canada? I say yes, because I came to Canada first time on a study permit, and then that time I applied for the study permit here. So I can in the comment section I can provide all the details. I have applied to enter to Canada as a student, and then I can provide the details whatever you have. You can provide your UCI number, or you can provide your college details, like when you entered. You can provide the dates, at what date you entered to Canada. So it's basically shows that you came to Canada on a valid student permit, and you have been studied here for the time period it was mentioned on your study permit. Now there's some more questions like, have you ever committed, been arrested or been charged for any criminal activity? So I'm saying no, and then continue. And then when you come down, you see there's some more options says, if have you ever served in military? So I'm definitely going to say no for this. And then if you have ever been a member or associated to any political party, I'm going to say no. Then if you ever witnessed or participated in the ill treatment of prisoners, say no. Now this is about the background information. Now under the signature you would be selecting yes, because you can be contacted by the IRCC anytime. Now under the signature, okay, so what you're going to do here, you would be providing your name and the full name here as per your passport, and under the date you can just select the today's date, because whenever you complete your application, right, and you submit your application, you always select the today's date, not the future date. So after filling all these information, when you come down, you will see a button for validate. So when you actually click on this validate form, it check for any error in this form and give you the warning that you have not completed or filled this form. Let's review this form once again. I have given my UCI number here, and then I have selected language as English. I have chosen the option that I apply for the work permit for the first time or with a new employer. I have provided my details, my full name, my given name and the surname. And have you used by any other name? I said no. Then I have provided my details such as my passport, place of birth, and the country territory, and the citizenship, and then the current country I have chosen Canada, and the status as a student. And I entered my from date and to date as per when I entered Canada, and the to date I just selected the next day date. Now there's some more information such as what is your current marital status? So I selected single, and here have you been previously married? So I said no. And then when you come down, it is asking for your passport number, your country or territory of issue, your issue date, and the expiry date of your passport. So I have filled all that information. Now under the contact information, okay, here the national identity document I said no. So if you have the Aadhaar card, you can fill out all the information. Now under the contact information, I have provided my Canada address and the telephone number and the mobile number. Now coming into Canada, so the first I need to enter my original date of entry to Canada and the status, and also what was the port of entry. So I have selected the same, and the date of most recent entry to Canada. So you need to provide the same details like your date and the place of entry, like which city you were entered. So the next part is education and the employment. So for the education, I have provided all the information, and for the employment, I have provided all the employment history for the last 10 years. So in your case, if you have worked for multiple employer, you need to provide all the information. And if you never worked, you can just select one, and just select the date, start date and to date, and say unemployed, or you can say student if you never worked, or you were a student before coming to Canada. So you can simply say you are a student in your one of the field. Now you need to provide all the information like all the security question, and then when you come down, click validate. So it says validation completed successfully. So actually it will generate some barcode. So when you click OK, you would see it has generated some barcode here. Now what you're going to do, you're actually going to attach this form, or you actually can print this form and can you can sign here manually from after you print this form, and then scan the form again and then upload it to your application. After completing this form, we come back to the IRCC account and we actually continue our application. So it comes to the review your answer page. Okay, let's just go down and then click on continue. then okay, come here and then we say continue here. So here first of all we are going to upload the form guys 5710 which we have just finished, and then the other documents such as passport, photo and your studies letter and the transcript. Now under the client information we need to upload our language test which we have given for this application, which would be our IELTS or CELPIP score. Now after uploading all the document we will be continuing and making the payment. Once the payment is done, our application will be submitted. Then we can check the status of the application under our IRCC account. So this was all about the PGWP guys. Thank you so much for watching my video.